everyone. Welcome to the another session on Facebook Live by Exodia. And today's topic is handling relationship challenges in times of pandemic. And I have with me Professor Leo Lobo. Yes, Leo.
Thank you, Dr. Pawnesh. Nice being with you again. And welcome to all our viewers, wherever you are. It's been a wonderful journey in Exodia. And we would love to get connected with you every Sunday. Pawnesh, you have been working tirelessly during this pandemic. As a medical doctor with your team, day in and day out, I have seen you in the field. Has this impacted your relationship? What are the challenges you have faced? Let's come to the point straight away.
Okay, Leo. It was. First of all, I used to think stress management is very easy for me. I used to think I can take overload very easily. And I continued to think like that until I had to handle this situation, until I had to be here during this pandemic. And it shattered all of my misconceptions regarding that. When I started to work as a public health expert, challenges started to pour from all sides. And I found myself getting stressed and overloaded like never before, getting hundreds of calls, having to make decisions all day long, getting calls from people who are apprehensive because they were to be tested, or they had been tested, or they had been found positive, or they were positive, or they needed to be shifted to some facility all the time. And then all those things overloaded me. But that was just the one part. And apart from that overload, the worst part was when I started to bring that workload into home, into my relationship. That was the biggest challenge. I wanted to be peaceful and calm, but it was hard. And I found it was big challenge for me. And second situation was, then I talked to my friends who are doctors and who are not doctors, and they said similar pattern was happening in their life also. Challenges were different. Some were struggling with their career, had apprehensions about their future, about what will happen to them and their family. And that stress was coming in between them into their relationships. And that was creating a lot of conflicts, a lot of hopelessness, and a lot of bitterness in their relationship. So that was the biggest challenge that I saw in my life and in people's life. And that is how it has been a big challenge for me. And how about you, Leo? Because the same thing.
Well, it must have been a big challenge for you. I can understand that. For me, if I put a metaphor to my challenge, it would be like caged bird. I'm a bird which, a free bird. Like I would travel, I would meet people, but this pandemic has put a cage around me. That was a big challenge for me. Staying at home, practically doing nothing. Well, listening to people over the phone, and that also made me understand how people go through life in a very different way. In India, corporates are working. I would say they are not working, they are slogging. They start working at 6 o'clock in the morning, go on till 10:30. So sometimes I ask my corporate friends, has the company hired your skills or competencies or your life? No best practices in place. People are really challenged. And at home, what happens? Kids having online classes. Well, the mother will be working. Imagine, there was a funny situation. Once mother told me, I was in the call and my child was online class. And suddenly my child, mommy, internet problem hai. Okay, now she had to leave this one, sit, call and come back and assist. Then some parents are going through hell sometimes. Schools tell them, okay, you need to submit this project and take the printout, make a PDF and all this stuff. And well, that is a hell for them again. And I have never seen teachers working like this. My wife is a teacher and she used to really enjoy teaching. Now she works till 12 o'clock, 12:30, preparing for the classes, sending notes, etc., etc. So these challenges made me think, I am lucky, though caged, I'm fine. Okay. Now, Pavnesh, we are in the field of NLP, and you
Yes.
are, a seeker of NLP, and you have been going around doing courses, and that's how I met you also. You came to our programs. How NLP has helped you to face these challenges? Would you like to throw some light on that?
Yes, Leo. After that initial shock, where I felt ashamed of myself for shouting at my subordinates, my team members, and feeling and blaming people and doing everything. After that initial shock, when I started to uh, get an awareness of what was happening one day, and then I started to get control. And then, in under the similar circumstances, one day I was sitting home outside my room. There's a small lobby area where I sit. I usually like to sit down on the floor over the carpet. And it was supposed to be a holiday, but it was not, because I was getting one phone call after the other, making important decisions, giving report to somebody or receiving report from somebody, and handling people, making tough decisions. And then one day, and then suddenly I found it was 7:30 in the evening, and I was handling all of them. And I talked to my wife, hey, uh, aren't we going for a walk as we go usually every day in the evening? She looked at me and said, I'm so proud of you. I said, what happened? She said, how can you handle so many things and be so calm simultaneously? I saw at my mobile 143 phone calls handled or calls made. And I said, are you proud of me? She said, yes. And I said, so am I. So, so we laughed a lot about it. It's not that it was everyday thing, but now I could get a control over the things. Things were there; they were already there. And after that initial shock of that I was getting overloaded so easily, when I started to get control over things, I found that one day I was handling it much better than before. Not that I was not stressed at all, or I was handling everything perfectly. Far from it. In a messy situation, things go offhand at times. But using all the things that I learned, that what it's not what is happening outside, what am I doing to that? And you taught me, and NLP taught me, and your workshops taught me that it was not just the attitude, but also the methodology. What are the steps that makes it happen easily for me? And I found that it was a big breakthrough for me. And still challenges are big, lots of things are happening, but I'm much more in control more often than earlier. And I'm sure sooner we are going to get we are making things better, and we are working as a team much better than before. And I think that sort of uh, resourcefulness was not there earlier. Even while I'm talking to you, my voice is calm, though I was
Yeah.
in a lot of tough situations just before coming to this call. So that is a big change that has happened. And second thing is that overload is not, even if there was overload, I'm in a relationship, there is a situation when I can let that be aside, let that keep aside, and focus on my family. And my goal is perfectly to be where I am, and
Yeah.
handling and not letting those overload affect the relationships
Exactly.
that I have.
Exactly.
So I think that is a
Exactly.
big
So
breakthrough that.
in a way, you are really dissociating from the work and focusing on the relationship, and that's a brilliant thing you did. Well, I have seen you. I have seen you over the calls. Your voice sounded very relaxed, except at one point, you remember you mentioned that, well, my team member had COVID. Now, you went through little anxiety, but immediately you came back. That was beautiful.
There were six actually. There
For
were five
me,
or six people from my team. Yeah, that was the
yeah,
time when five or six of my own team members get COVID. So there was a time whether saving people is one thing, at the same time also being worried about our well-being. Yeah, that's right.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. I remember the day we called me. I remember that day.
Yes.
For me, basic thing is that awareness. What you mentioned, something happens out there. I see certain things. I hear certain voices, certain words being spoken to me, maybe at home. All right. Now I see my wife is working and I want something, and she said, suddenly she says some word which might, and then I say, okay. Now, what is the positive intention here? Immediately that thought comes, and the entire process, thoughts, feelings, and my behavior. That's what we teach in NLP, that I'm using extensively. My thoughts are my make. I make those thoughts. They are my making. I'm responsible for my thoughts, and my behaviors are determined by my thoughts. That's one thing I use extensively. Well, then other thing is, as you said, when you uh, went out with your wife, you started laughing and she laughed with you. Laughter is something beautiful. I sometimes, my wife starts talking about her students, how they ask her questions. Ma'am, which notes should I write? Should it be a ruled notebook or unruled notebook? Should it be a long notebook? Or no, she said something, write somewhere. Okay. She says it, and both of us laugh. Laughter brings us in the present. I mean, that's something what I use it extensively. That's beautiful. Then another aspect, you remember we used to teach circle of excellence to people.
Yes, I remember that. Yes.
That is something which is anchored to me. I think no matter what, no matter where, whatever may be the situation, I go into my core state, into the circle of excellence. That makes me feel, wow, any challenges can be handled. That's why in one of my video I have mentioned, it's a high tide is an opportunity for us to catch fish. That's
Yes.
do.
That was a
The
lovely
previous
video.
Just 2 days back it came in.
Yes.
It is an opportunity for me. I feel that as an opportunity. Then another skill I use of NLP is the reframing. Something happens there. How do I reframe in my mind quickly? And that reframing helps so powerfully. Quickly the mood changes.
Yes.
That's what happens. Right.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
I remember we have gone online. You know that there was one corporate, we were getting a program, and suddenly they turned up and said, no, right now the program was not there. Fine. We were hoping to get that. Then I thought to myself, well, this gives me an opportunity to try somewhere. That changed the entire thing. Okay, you don't have to worry about the milk which is spilled already. It's okay, we can move on. These are the skills help me immensely in dealing with that, including the dissociation. I dissociate myself. It's okay.
Yes, I remember that, Leo. Yeah.
Yep.
You told me there are, so you asked me, you see two Pavnesh in front of you. One Pavnesh is dealing with it with a lot of stress, and another Pavnesh is dealing it with calm mind. The same, which Pavnesh do you want to be? And without question, then that was the time when I thought, I have a choice of dealing with it with calm mind too. And that changed. That's one question changed everything.
Exactly.
That gave me hope that there is a choice.
Yes, and you remember sometimes I used to call you up and ask you some specific questions about COVID virus. I remember I used to ask you. Then I said, well, all this funda outside, the WhatsApp University giving us is all bogus. We need to go for scientific facts. Once you understand that, then we are not worried about anything. We don't have to get scared. That is one thing I did to myself. Why fear? And you remember in one of your video, you mentioned, well, fear is one, extreme fear is one side, and don't care attitude is on the other side. Both are not very important. It's working in the middle, coming to the middle, taking precautions and taking care of yourself. That's what I learned from you.
Yes. Yes.
Now we are actually doing these programs to help our viewers. What do you think they can do in their relationship? What do you suggest to them? Small little things, small little skills which they use.
Yes. The best thing, yes, Leo, the best thing think the best thing about NLP is that everybody knows what to do. हर किसी को पता है कि गुस्सा उस टाइम पे खराब है, बट गुस्सा होने से पहले याद है, गुस्सा आने के बाद याद है, मुझे मोमेंट है, people forget that. So we need a methodology for that also. And sometimes people come and say, hey, तुम्हारा वीडियो देखा ना, मुझे बहुत मोटिवेशन मिलता है. मैंने कहा जब मैं भी डिमोटिवेटेड होता हूँ, मैं अपने वीडियो देखता हूँ, मुझे मोटिवेशन मिलता है. Because it's easy to preach. And then when I meet with, when I talk to you, or when I watch a video, or when I ask, when I enter, I get a methodology there. If you say कि आपने अपने आप को detach रखना है, you don't just tell that. You actually gave me tools about how to do that. That is the thing that makes most difference. और मुझे ये लगता है कि जब भी हम किसी खासकर रिलेशनशिप सिचुएशन में, और माय गोल अभी जो मुझे पेंडेमिक के बाद लगा, जो हम कर सकते हैं, मेरा विजन ये है कि मैं अपने बच्चे के साथ बात कर रहा हूँ, अपनी वाइफ के साथ हूँ, आई एम एब्सोल्युटली देयर. And then that doesn't mean I don't care for my job, but at the moment a call comes from my job about certain situation, I take that call with complete focus, complete attention, and as I put the call back and I look back at my family, I'm still there. And the tools you provide are taking me there. I'm not there already. I'm working on that part. And I think that is a great thing to be, so that when we are at work, we are giving our best, growing, prospering financially and career-wise. And when we are at our relationship, at the close people, जिनके लिए हम ये सब कर रहे हैं, we are absolutely there also. And if I'm at work and some home situation comes where I need to deal with it, I want to be able to shift my focus as and when required. And I think that is what you and your tools are providing me. And the best thing I liked about that, as I told you, it's not just lip service. It's not just the words. You are providing me the methodologies. They look very simple, a very innocent question that you ask, but that changed everything for me. The moment I was stuck and blaming myself and blaming people and blaming circumstances and blaming the world and China and everything about the situation that was happening, the moment you asked, which Pavnesh do you want to become? Immediately, that question gave me an insight. I have a choice of responding calmly to that. And then you asked a few questions, and I was well on my way. So that, I believe, is the power of NLP and the power of things.
Brilliant, Pavnesh. Actually, what you are saying is that we have choices. Okay, yes. Now for me, I think what people can do is many things. One is follow your instruction. Whatever you followed, I think, can I be there 100% when I'm working? Can I be with my child, spouse, or father, mother, anybody 100% there? If 50-50% nahi chalega, that is sure. I would say in addition to that, we need to laugh. Let's laugh, say something, crack some jokes, because we have become, in the new norm, we have become machines. You see the families, they work like a machine. Tuck, 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 it goes on. We are not machines. We are human beings. Let's be human. That's the primary thing we need to do. Human beings, we need to relate. We have significant relationships, maybe with the child. I remember one mother calls up and tells me her son calls her laptop as her new son. Well, this word, whatever the words child use, is a big words. They are big words. So mother felt very puzzled. Well, that's how people perceive us. So I would say, let's be human. Let's make mistakes, is okay. And the boundaries, office, there is a boundary, family, there's a boundary, relationship, there's a boundary. Let's not violate those boundaries. Those are important for us. And to do that, I was talking to Steve yesterday. We were discussing about our relationship workshop. He gave a very beautiful understanding about how to affirm people. He said, we need to do something for the other. It struck me very powerfully. It's important. Can I do something for the other? Now, let's say I'm working. I want a cup of tea and my wife is also working. I said, hey, I want a cup of tea. Can I make a cup of tea? Is a question, right? Can I do something for her? We always seek. Instead of, can I give something? I think if we do this, most of our stresses will vanish.
Yes,
What is it?
absolutely, absolutely,
Okay. Then
absolutely.
I am an activity person. It's important that we need to be involved with some activity. Right. Let's have a dance together, family dance together. Put some crazy music and jump up and down. It can create so much energy because we block our energy so much. I think if these little things you do, things will change drastically. Then, as you mentioned, most of us wait for sickness to come to see the doctor, right? Mental health doesn't happen that way. We can prevent most of the problems if we gain certain skills. That's why we offer so many courses. We tell people, please come in, join in. I think that investment worth it. Well, those who are watching us, think about it. Do some little investment. I know it's difficult this time. Yet, we would like to offer, at least look at our videos. We are bringing in a lot of videos. What do you think, Pavnesh? Through video,
They're brilliant.
we communicate a lot. So
Yep.
therefore, we would like to see healthy mind for joyful living. That's what our
Yes,
mission is all about.
yes,
Okay.
yes,
I
absolutely.
think
And
now
they're
we can
brilliant.
conclude. It's a time up for us. So, with your concluding remark, you can conclude.
No, Leo, I loved your remark of laughing. So I think we can laugh our problems away. And there was a small joke that I came up because most of the things you have told, there was a person who talked about कि जब मैं छोटा था तो मुझे एक साइकिल लेनी थी, तो मुझे पता लगा कि साइकिल का फोटो लगाऊंगा तो साइकिल आ जाएगी, एंड लेटर ऑन मुझे पता लगा कि दुनिया ऐसे काम नहीं करती. मैंने साइकिल चुरा ली और बाद में भगवान से सॉरी मांग ली कि भगवान मुझे माफ कर दे, मैंने साइकिल चुरा ली, एंड आई हैड माय साइकिल.
Okay. Anyway,
Right.
good.
So that was just a way of looking at it.
So
Yeah.
thank
But
you,
I think laughter.
our viewers. Thank you very
Yeah.
much for joining us. It is wonderful. Do get in touch with us. Let's all together make this pandemic season an opportunity to grow in our relationships. Strengthen our relationships because a lot of opportunities are there. Let's understand.
Yeah.
Let's
Absolutely.
go through life in a very nice way so that we grow through life. Thank you very much. Thanks, Pavanesh. On behalf of
Thank you, Leo.
I would like to thank every one of you for being with us. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.